round of applause and some energy and some excitement for Sarah from Relavo.
Hi everyone, great to be here. My name is Sarah Lee and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Relavo. At the same time that I was a student at Johns Hopkins University, my aunt began dialysis. Due to her limited health literacy and language barriers, she felt that she had no choice other than in-center dialysis and relied on my mom to drive her to and from treatment 3 times a week. While at school, I engaged with clinicians at Hopkins Hospital and learned about the option and benefits of home dialysis. I learned that care could be performed overnight while sleeping versus during the day, that it offered better health outcomes and didn't require patients to sit in a dialysis chair for 15 hours a week. Unfortunately, this is an uncommon option due to high infection risk, so I was compelled to take on this problem. In the United States alone, over 800,000 people are affected by end-stage renal disease, or kidney failure, with over 500,000 people requiring some form of dialysis to survive. For patients who take the risk of administering their own care at home, nearly 30% are affected by peritonitis, an infection of the peritoneal membrane. These infections contribute to 1 out of 6 patient deaths and requires hospitalization in over 50% of cases. When patients treat themselves in an uncontrolled environment, sterile tubes can become easily contaminated by things like breathing or coughing, touching tubes to non-sterile surfaces, or fur or hair in the environment. Existing efforts to prevent these infections, which are based solely on education and patient vigilance, just aren't working. So driven by the many patients, doctors, and families feeling unsafe, we founded Relavo. We are a medical device company that's changing the way that kidney failure patients receive treatment by making home dialysis safer and more accessible. To do this, we developed the PeritoneX, a self-disinfecting connection device that minimizes the risk of infection. Rather than connecting dialysis tubes directly, patients will instead connect them to our device, which internally disinfects the dialysis tubes by injecting, dwelling, and retracting an antimicrobial solution into the connection space. Our Class 2 medical device disinfects after connections have been made. It maintains a closed system throughout treatment. This eliminates the risk of secondary exposure to bacteria and reduces the reliance on patients to be highly vigilant of contamination events. There are other players in this market who are aiming to reduce infection for dialysis patients, but they all fall short. They're either not compatible with existing tubing, require a lot of work from patients, don't disinfect dialysis systems, or aren't always affordable. But with the PeritoneX, we can provide current home patients with higher quality care and allow more kidney failure patients to experience the benefits of home treatment. Dialysis clinics and Medicare will also save money from fewer infections, fewer hospitalizations, and because home treatment has a lower cost of care per patient per year than other therapies. In fact, by doubling home dialysis use to 25% of patients, Medicare will save over $800 million each year. Now is a particularly important time for innovation in the dialysis space. In 2019, the Advancing American Kidney Health Initiative was introduced via executive order, and it announced ambitious goals to increase home dialysis use to 50% of incident kidney failure patients over the next few years. This shift is incentivized by Medicare's new payment models that provide financial incentives to dialysis clinics, as well as by industry, with the largest dialysis providers in the US setting public goals for home dialysis growth. Our customer will be dialysis clinics. The reason why this is because all home dialysis patients still have their care managed by a physical clinic. So home patients are actually beneficial, since it allows clinics to expand their patient reach without the limitations of physical space. Because clinics are managing these patients' care, they're responsible for the cost of complications, like infections. These added costs come out of a dialysis clinic's bottom line, so they're incentivized to lower those expenses. So following the existing home dialysis supply chain, we'll sell to dialysis clinics who purchase supplies on behalf of patients using a monthly subscription model. Clinics will pay $150 per patient per month, which represents just 10% of the potential cost of one infection. Kidney failure is a huge problem worldwide that's growing at an increasing rate. We estimate our US market to be north of $1.2 billion annually. But dialysis is just the first market and application for our self-disinfecting connector technology. Our product can be applicable to many therapies and diseases that have tubing that can be contaminated with bacteria. This includes infusion of medications, nutrition, and other home therapies. To obtain market share in the home dialysis space, we'll focus on demand generation through conferences and a direct sales force. We'll initially target dialysis clinics participating in Medicare models that adjust reimbursement rates based on home dialysis use, as well as those clinics involved in value-based care programs. So we've developed a superior product, and we're the right team to move this forward. We are a female-founded team of biomedical engineers from Johns Hopkins University, and our management team and advisors bring over 100 combined years of experience in medical innovation and commercialization. To date, we've developed working prototypes that we've tested both in the lab and in animal studies, and that have demonstrated an ability to exceed industry standards for tubing disinfection. We've raised nearly $2 million in non-dilutive funding, including SBIR Phase 1 and 2 grants, and as the only female winners of the KidneyX Redesigned Dialysis Prize. We have strong intellectual property with 2 non-provisional patents pending, and have held multiple meetings with FDA to de-risk our regulatory pathway. Now we're raising a seed round totaling $2 million to complete product development and testing towards FDA submission. We're raising $1.5 million on a post-money safe, with the remaining $500,000 coming in the form of non-dilutive funding from NSF's investment matching program. So far in this round, we have nearly $1 million committed, including participation from the National Kidney Foundation. Following these seed milestones with submission to FDA, we'll then begin clinical trials to validate the efficacy of the PeritoneX. These trials aren't required by FDA, but it rather would serve as marketing data to inform early sales upon our commercial launch in mid to late 2025. So we invite you to join us as we reduce the burden of kidney failure and provide patients with safer treatment. Thank you.